Welcome back, everybody, in the Twitch chat room. We have the lovely Danny from Renegade Games here, and we are all set up. What am I looking at?
This is Spell Smashers. Spell Smashers is a word spelling and monster fighting game that we're releasing in October.
Spelling game?
Yes.
I'm very intrigued.
It is more involved than your typical spelling game where it's like, oh, I spelled this word, my word's longer, I win, right? Here we have monsters and a city that we can visit and all sorts of things to do.
Do you have a moment to show us how to play?
Yeah, absolutely. So in Spell Smashers, we are going to play over 7 rounds. After 7 rounds, whoever has the most points wins.
Got it.
We get points by fighting monsters, by drinking ale, by getting armor, and doing quests.
And spelling things?
And spelling things.
Okay.
So each round has 3 phases.
Okay.
The first phase is spelling. So that's not a very good hand, I'm sorry. Simultaneously, it's all vowels. That's actually all vowels. Here's some consonants for you. Simultaneously, we're going to be using the letters in our hands to spell words.
Yo.
Once we have a word, we'll reveal it. So I've spelled chits because we're gamers. It's relevant.
I spelled E. You've done this before.
You're struggling.
And you want to do as many as many letters as possible?
So each letter card has a strength and a damage type. So this S has 1 water damage. You want probably the biggest word you can come up with to have the most strength. You're going to be using your words as your spells that you're casting against the monsters. So if you are a very fun-loving person, you might get into character and say, I cast chits at the mad bugbear that we have there on the table. All right? What did you cast?
I looked around me and I could only pull up a reed.
Like a flute.
It hasn't been whittled into an instrument quite yet.
But your reed is worth 4 damage points. Yeah? Okay. So after we've revealed our words,
sure.
I have chits right here, we're going to see whose word is longest, and that person has initiative. So you have 4 letters.
Okay.
I have 5 letters. So I would get initiative. I fight first.
Wait. You could just put an S on anything. Darn it, I don't have an S.
You don't have an S. So I go first. What I'm going to do now is phase 2, which is fighting the monsters in front of us. So we have 3 monsters down there. We have an awful Leviathan, a mad bugbear, and a very feisty Dampier.
Ew.
So I'd pick whichever one
Like
I wanted
the
to fight.
adjectives.
Yeah, the adjectives are modifying those monsters. Let me bring one closer to us. So we've got our monster tile. It has the name of the monster, their health in the form of coins, and their attack strength. However, we add an adjective modifier card to each one. So now this Leviathan is very awful. He has 5 more health, and he has a weakness to leaves.
Got it.
So if I attack him, I'm going to take my word. I have 2 fire, 1 leaf. So he's weak to leaf, so we're going to double that.
Good.
So now I have 4, 1 water, 2 more leaf, and 1 water. So I can deal 8 damage to this awful Leviathan. So I take 8 coin off of the monster crest down there.
Oh, cool. Is that money?
Yeah, their health is tracked by money.
Money, money, money.
So each time you smack a monster, coins fall from their
So money
purse.
makes monsters stronger?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm just going to reach over here. Let's just take all the money right here. And so if you did 8 damage, you take away 8?
So he started with 14. He had 9 and 5. So he's left with 6.
Okay, so he will be left with 6.
Yeah.
So that's 6.
And I have
So
8.
these are taken away.
Yep.
Discarded.
The 6 left
Yeah.
would be on his monster crest. So he has 6
you
health
put
left.
The 6 left back in there. Here. This is 6. Right?
Yep.
Okay.
So I didn't kill him. He hits me back for 1 damage. Damage against us are wound cards. So wound cards are very uncommon letters in the English alphabet.
Like X.
Like X, exactly. Or they're complicated combinations, like IS, ING, ED, right? So you have to be clever to use the wounds that you get by fighting monsters. If I was the one to take the last coin from this monster, so his last health, I'd kill him, and I'd get his monster tile as a monster trophy.
All right.
Now I have L.
So you want that last hit.
Yeah. Even if you kill a monster, they're still going to smack you. Their dying breath. Just one claw.
Okay.
So now I have L, if I'd kill him.
Okay, and so that you can use that letter in spelling whenever?
Yep.
Are there any S monsters?
There is the shapeshifter. Yeah. So fighting monsters. Once we both fight monsters,
Sure.
then we get to go to the city.
Okay.
We draw 2 quests, each of us. Draw 2, pick 1. So quests are secret missions that you can do on your turn. You can have up to 2 at a time. After you fight, you'd reveal if you accomplished it. At the end of the game, you get that many points.
Got it.
Okay? So these are kept secret until accomplished.
Secrets.
Yeah. And then we have 5 different locations in the city that we can visit.
Okay.
And we're going to spend our money there if you want.
Ooh, so you get money from defeating monsters, and then you can go shopping.
Yep, you can go
and
shopping.
all because you studied for your spelling test. Right?
Yeah, I
Okay.
should have told my mom this when I was in elementary school. So the different locations, we've got the Shaman. You can visit there to discard wound cards in your hand.
Okay.
However, it's kind of expensive because if you
Okay.
go there, you're forced to discard a monster trophy that you've
Okay.
gained. The tavern, you're going to go there, pay $3 to buy a pint of beer, and then
Ooh.
you're going to regale the tavern with stories of your adventures. Okay?
Wow.
So when that happens, you're going to get 1 ale token per wound card in your hand.
Oh, okay.
And ale is points at the end of the game.
Oh, nice.
So that's a good thing. The Alchemist is where you buy potions that let you do things. So change the damage type. Letter of your choice. Discard a wound.
Oh, nice. A little wild card token.
Yeah, yeah,
That's
yeah.
great.
And then Armory. Draw 2, pick 1. You can get a weapon or armor, depends on what you draw.
Sure.
But those just help you spell words.
And this is only a 2-player game?
No,
or-
it goes up to 5.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Amazing.
And it's actually 1 to 5. There's a solo mode as well.
Oh, so like it's kind of like solitaire or something. And how long does a game usually take?
Typically 45, 60 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not a filler game. It's more
Sure.
involved than most word games.
But it can happen in an evening. It doesn't have to take like a whole campaign or something.
No.
And I just want to get an idea of our time. How many games did you guys want to show today?
Well, I have 2
Okay.
expansions to talk about,
Okay.
and Sarah has a few more.
Sure. Maybe about 10 minutes a game so we can keep
Sure.
track of all the time.
Yep.
And every game can have its opportunity to be talked about. So is this available now?
No, this is coming in October.
It's coming out in October. Okay. And how can I support this game?
So you can order it. You can pre-order it now on our website or from your friendly local game store. They should have it available for pre-order.
Okay, cool. And so can you tell me a little bit more about what's this?
So each person has their player board. It just helps you keep organized. So you have a slot for your weapon, a slot for
cool.
your armor, your coins, quests.
Oh
whatnot.
yeah, nice,
Yeah.
nice.
You
I
got,
like
it's
that.
your little adventure backpack. Got pockets for all your
Sure.
stuff.
Amazing. So moving on then,
Yeah.
you have, you said expansions.
I
Expansions
do.
to what?
To Clank, which
Okay.
is one of our,
I'm going to help you put this together. I don't know what else I could have spelled there.
with all of your vowels. We needed to not be speaking English to use all those vowels.
I mean, you know, we've learned a lot of words from Italian. Oh, here, I got one more. Roof.
Roofer. Roofer.
Roofed. Rooted? Rooted.
Rooted, there we go.
Rooted. Rooted. Rooted deer.
So we have 2 new expansions for Clank and Clink in Space that
Okay, what is Clank? Like, back up.
Clank is a deck building adventure game.
Oh, cool.
So we have Clank and Clink in Space. Clank is fantasy, Clank is space. Clink in Space is space. You have this board with locations you're going to be moving to, collecting treasures, and then trying to get out before the game ends. You're building your deck in order to do that as quickly and successfully as possible.
Sure.
So choosing more movement cards or sneaky cards, because
Sneaky cards.
some better cards will be noisy. They'll cause clanks to happen, which awakens the dragon, which is not a good thing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So for regular fantasy Clank, we have Clank Expeditions, which we surprised announced on Wednesday.
Congratulations.
Thanks. So this is a new map pack. It's got a double-sided map. On one side, it has this creepy, crawly spider cavern that we're exploring. On the other side, it's a dwarven mine. So to celebrate both of those, we have a new boss token, which is a spider queen. And then we have dwarf meeples with their chisels and hammers.
Yes,
Super cute.
For a sec there, I thought they were crayons.
They're not crayons.
No,
though
they're
they do look kind of
meeples.
tasty.
Yeah, yeah, I thought they were crayons.
Yeah, this also has new tokens and cards that go along with those new themes.
So for regular Clank players, like what makes these expansions really exciting? The setting?
So it just gives you more things to do. So Clank is almost 2 years old now.
Okay.
So people who own that can get the game refreshed with these new themes
Nice.
and new pieces. Because after 2 years, you've probably developed your strategy to the expert
So this is
level.
gonna shake it up, yeah.
Yeah, the person who keeps winning every game night probably won't win in the spider cavern. So they're gonna
Maybe
get
the person
stuck.
that owns the game, probably.
Probably. But yeah, so this is really affordable, actually. It's less, costs less than the other expansions, but it still has a bunch of content.
So what kind? I know you said it was a deck building game, but like what makes that unique?
What makes Clank unique?
Yeah.
It's the timed aspect with the map. Most deck builders are just card-based, right? But Clank has a map, and it has a really clever timing mechanic where once someone gets treasure, you have to run back out. So even if you get treasure, you may not win, because what happens to me all the time, I get stuck in the cave, in the cavern. I don't make it out, so I don't score anything. So I spent all my time building my deck to get the treasure, and it's all for naught.
Oh no.
Yeah, the board, I think, is what makes Clank shine.
Sure. All right, and you, Sarah over there. Oh, you're all mic'd up and ready to go. She's very excited. She's got a lot of things to show off. I mean, you don't have to go away. You could just sit right there if you
I
want.
could. I would like to talk about one more thing, though.
Okay.
I have one more Clank
Sorry.
expansion. It's okay. This is for space. This is Apocalypse. It also introduces a new map, but it introduces a new mechanic as well. So for this one, we have new scheme cards, which put those black cubes that don't do anything. They're a timer. When you draw them, you're like, whew, I'm glad that wasn't my cube.
Yeah.
I'm not going to get those negative points. But now we have cards you're going to put the cubes on. So for those of you familiar with Clank in Space, the big boss is Lord Erraticus, who is a very evil cyborg.
What's his motive?
Well, it depends. In this game now, you have schemes.
Okay.
So things that he's planning to do. And if you complete phase 3, it adds a permanent effect to the game. For that game, it's not Legacy. But yeah.
So that is Clank in Space,
Apocalypse.
and Clank Expeditions Gold and Silk. Congratulations for like debuting that this week.
Thank you.
So
Yeah,
cool.
it's been super exciting for everyone. Yeah.
All right, and you guys are both wearing these Tea Society shirts. Is that another game from Renegade?
Yes, I actually brought a copy too.
Oh, okay.
Tea Dragons?
More things in here? Should we talk about other things, or?
Or well, we're just
Those are good.
transitioning. If you can tell me what that is.
Yeah, so Tea Dragon Society.
The art is so
no.
cute. It's all right. Just be very gentle.
I've messed up.
No, you have not. It is okay.
Disasters happen all the time. It's an introductory deck builder game. So you are taking care of a baby tea dragon. So chamomile, jasmine.
It sounds like I want to be invited to this tea party. Yes.
Well, maybe not, because they're dragons, so sometimes they get grumpy or mad.
It's okay. I have heartburn sometimes. I feel like a dragon.
Everyone has their thing.
So what are you showing right now?
So I'm going to be setting up Gunky Mono. This
Gunky
is
Mono.
a game for people who really want to tell their friends that
they're samurai?
I'm gonna win. Like you are not gonna win just because you're my friend. We're gonna battle a little bit here.
Oh, wow, this is intense. And the art is so beautiful. It's like a hakusai, a Japanese wood block print.
Yeah, so actually that's interesting you bring that up, because the artist in this game actually does do wood block prints.
I can
and
see this. Isn't
he
this
knows what's
amazing,
up.
guys?
Yeah, this game is very beautiful, and it's also very
And
nicely
so many
traditional.
tiles.
There's a lot of tiles in here because it's a tile laying game.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, it starts out with this board. You can see it's just flat, but every time it's your turn, you're going to have several of these tiles in your hand, and you're going to place them on the board. And really what you're trying to do is connect as many of the same color as possible, and then have your own
So does
area.
the color on the board matter, or just the color on the tiles?
The color on the board will matter until you put a tile on top of it. So for example, if I'm gray and I own this particular piece, then I would now own all of the orange parts. So even though this one was printed and these two are on tiles, they're all connected now. And you know, you might not like that very much, so maybe you are trying to connect all of these red ones, so you've got a couple here, and maybe your piece is this beautiful bright red one, and you're trying to connect the red. Well, I might kind of be in your way, so you might put this here.
Oh, yeah.
Now you cut me off.
Nana nana boo boo. Take
Yeah,
that.
there's a lot of take that in this game in a very fun way.
So in every turn, like how many tiles can I put down? How is that determined?
So you only put one tile down, you have 3 in your hand.
Okay.
But you get to pick what you do with the tile that you place and how it's scored.
Okay.
So you're gonna have a tile, and let's say, just as an example, I put that tile here. Well, you can see on the tiles we have a number of these symbols here.
Sure.
And that symbol relates to moving up on this track.
It's like each level of pagoda.
Yeah, exactly. So this tile that I just placed has only one pagoda. So that means that my little samurai marker here is only going to move up one. I guess I'm going to be gray. I would move up one on the orange track because that was an orange tile. If I had placed this tile this turn instead, it's got 2 of that same symbol, so I instead would move up 2. When I get to certain places on these tracks, depending on the number of people who are playing, when I get all of my markers up past these certain places, then I'll collect these pagodas, and then that's how I get to control parts of the board.
Amazing.
Yeah, once you control it, nobody can be in control of that tile, and so they can't mess with you as much, but they can still cut it off and sort of try and make your area smaller.
And I noticed that there's some like numbering on the side of the board. What's that for?
That's to keep track of your score as you're going through the game. Oh, I haven't shown you the best part yet. The first player marker is a sword. I think you need one of these, right? That seems to fit your personality.
So I could just be like, I win.
If your friends
So
keep
long.
playing with you, I'll be impressed.
That's what I would be. I was just like, I win. That is so cool. Who designed this game?
This is by Jeffrey Allers, and this is actually his very first published game,
Wow.
but many people know him now from his more popular game that has already previously been released, New York Slice.
Oh, cool.
So this game was released under a different name, different theme previously, and then we saw it and just fell in love with the way that the game worked, but felt like it's been 10 years since it came out. We could retheme it, modernize it, really bring it into the new huge era of board games that's happening
Well, I love this theme. It is so cool. I feel like I want to defend and conquer the land. So that was all these design decisions were very well intentioned and successful, I would say, yeah.
Yay, we succeeded. Good job. Awesome. Yeah, this is a great game. This one is coming out in September.
Okay,
So
cool.
almost here.
All right, so you got September, October. And
We have lots of things in all of these months. These are just a few.
You're just like a year-round publishing company. I mean, Renegade does
are.
so many games. All right, let's move it on. I want to see more.
We do have more fun things. One thing I think you in particular are going to be excited about is, I've heard you might do some RPG stuff.
I might do some RPG stuff.
I've heard rumors
on Twitch,
at least.
and not on Twitch sometimes. Just at home for fun. I actually like to play the games.
Well, that's a good start. So we had not done any RPGs previously, but we wanted to get in on that action. And so this year we are publishing 3 RPGs.
From our friends at 100 Books, right?
Exactly, yeah. So 2 of them were games that they previously had been working on, and we partnered with them. We think that they make awesome stuff, and we really wanted to share in that, and they were looking for somebody to take over some of the logistics and shipping parts of things, and we can do that.
So Ivan has told me a little bit about this, but he didn't actually bring it to Gen Con Studio Official.
What?
And we heard that it has a lot of Amblin vibes. I kind of got E.T. and Stranger Things when I was looking at it. Yeah?
And pretty much anybody who grew up in the 80s
Sure.
is easily going to be able to pull from their own past to think about story hooks and fun adventures to send your characters on in this game.
Yeah.
And one thing that I do really like about, of course, other than the setting,
Sure.
is there's this powered character component. And every group can play with a special, super powered, supernatural character that's part of their party, but everyone cooperatively controls that character.
Oh, wow. It sounds like you're like your favorite haunted pet or something.
It could be. Like, I played in a campaign where ours was actually a tree that was sentient and kind of came along with us.
And the
in
roots
party.
came out.
Yeah, exactly. But it couldn't communicate with us very well.
Sure.
So we found it in the woods. We're a group of little kids. Some of us are nerdy scientists. We had one who's sort of like the rowdy
cool.
boy. And we all had to work together to try and figure out how to deal with this tree that we had. But it was our special supernatural connection to the weird things that were happening in this small town we lived in. And so you can go wherever you want with it, of course. It's role-playing.
Sure.
But you can also think about, you know, there's E.T., there's Eleven, there's all these characters that we think of in that type of setting that is sort of special and supernatural. We wanted to include those because that makes sense, but one player playing one of those wouldn't really work out.
Right, it didn't make sense. So now you have this like sentient, it could be whoever, whatever.
Yeah.
It,
yeah. If you are into scary clowns, you could do that. So yeah, that's Kids on Bikes. We've got a powered play character deck that's actually cards you flip over that
Do you have
help
any
you.
of those?
I didn't bring one with me, but we'll have to go to the booth later and
we'll
I'll
definitely,
show you what they look
for
like.
sure.
They're
And
super cool.
this is already out, right?
So this was a Kickstarter. We're fulfilling the Kickstarter right now. They're in our warehouse, ready to go, almost to retailers. And we're selling it here at the show. So you may have to walk home with a copy of that.
We did have a copy. That's why I was like, oh, is it already out?
Oh, okay.
Oh, wow. Actually, I really like the, that's amazing. Really cool illustration and totally gets you in the mood. And I think, is this the one with the map too? That you build the map?
The map.
You built the
It's
world
Yeah.
cooperatively.
Yeah.
At the beginning of the campaign.
In the beginning, that's right.
Yep, yep.
And you set up real fast. There's just amazing. I'm trying to show off to the camera here. It's
very pretty. There's actually, this is a deluxe version, and it comes with a comic book in the front, so
Yeah.
that's super fun. And
No,
then in the
I-
back, a bunch of adventure hooks
guys,
too.
it's so beautiful. I love that kind of stuff. That is so cool. Thank you for sharing that.
Extra gorgeous.
And
Another Hunter's Books favorite. So this is the second edition of Outbreak Undead. And the first edition actually came out several years ago and won an Emmy Award, which is the biggest thing that can happen in
for RPGs, yeah.
Yeah, so that...
It's our Academy Awards.
It really is. Yeah, it's fan voted,
Yeah.
and if people love your stuff, then they'll vote for it. And Outbreak Undead did win one of those. But they felt like, you know, it's been several years. They wanted to update it and add some fun new stuff. So this is the Survivor's Guide.
Yeah.
There's also going to be a Game Master's Guide that comes out later
cool.
this year.
Nice.
And then tokens as well that we have at the booth. So this will give you everything you really need to play, but the rest of it will fill out that story and give you more options.
And if I can just say, my favorite part of this is the survey. So if you ever watch like any of these, you know, zombie apocalypse TV shows or movies, and you insert yourself into that scenario, you're like, I would be okay. I mean, I know archery, that's got to be useful, right? I would be like the, you know, kick butt leader of this troop. So I love that he actually had a survey online that you can take that can help you create your character.
Yeah, I took it and it was clear that I really should not be trying to punch or kick anything. So I was kind of sad about that, but I'm going to be able to smart my way out of most things. So I was all right. I was happy. But it was fun to go through the personality test. And I think even if you intend to not play as yourself, you can get into the mind frame of whatever character you want to play. Take the survey, it spits out the stats, you fill out your character sheet, and then you keep going and play with that character.
I really like that you're taking the survey in character to figure out how.
Yeah,
that's really cool. I really like that. I never thought about it that way.
It's very fun. And also, Ivan was a GM for World Live Frontier, which was a Geek and Sundry show that was using this system. And Oh my gosh, it has the most beautiful set
Yes.
of any of those I've seen so far, and it is brutal.
Sure.
It's really not a question of when his characters will, or if his characters will die. It's really
Yes, when. Yeah.
Because
It's the
you're
end.
just trying to survive.
Yeah, it's the apocalypse. Well, and we have another amazing book. And I have seen people walking around Gen Con this year with these beautiful overlight bags. Isn't this gorgeous? It's so pretty. And I've heard the rundown, but I think I have to hear it one more time because this world is nuts. There's so much going on, right? You have like monkey people and
well, it is really something that in my wildest dreams I never would have come up with.
Yeah.
It is technically a fantasy world because it's magic, there's not going to be guns and
Right.
things like that in it, but it is not like anything you've ever seen. So there's 7 different shards, and they are these humongous, like continent-sized land masses that are all stacked, hanging in space above each
Okay.
other. And over, you see the overwhelming light from above that never goes
Yes.
away, and underneath is just a sea of stars. So in between, there's, oh, hey, look at that. We even have a visual.
Yeah.
And in these different 7 shards, you're going to find completely different characters, different environments, so you can really bounce around depending on where you want to take your story. And you're going to find things like the Tyrexians, and they are these bird reptilians, almost dinosaur-type creatures. These are sentient beings. They're very wise.
they look scary.
They do look scary. A lot of them are very small, some are very big, but they are the wise knowledge seekers of the universe.
All right.
And you could play as one of those,
Okay.
I think. That would be fun. So here's one that's actually mentoring
Oh,
a
cool.
human child. There are humans that are technically Hark in this
Yeah.
world. But yes, there's lots of different things, one for each of those 7 different shards. I particularly love the Benyari. If we can find those ones, I'm gonna have to skip ahead. I love nature and just being out in the wild, and the Benyari are these woodland creatures that are part plant and part mammal. A lot of them are symbiotic with their environment, so you'll
You might have to flip it towards you to find it.
We'll find some cool Benyari going on here. It's actually all color coded. So on the side, I'm gonna go to the green.
Oh, cool.
That's the other chapter. Yeah. So we'll find some Tyrexians going on in here. The Hamanu are also really neat.
They're like the monkey folk, right?
Yeah, the
Yeah.
Hamanu are particularly interesting as a role-playing system,
Sure.
or as part of a role-playing system, because they are paired characters. So if you and
Yeah.
I wanted to be Hamanu and Monk together, we cannot play as just
Yeah.
one.
But wait, what happens if one of us gets like mortally wounded or something?
It is really horrible.
Oh, no.
It can happen, but you are a bonded pair, and so when the other half of you dies, it is really, really horrible and dangerous, and it will significantly impact your character. And there are actually a lot of ways that different characters can be impacted in this
Sure.
system. One of the things that happens is as you're playing, you can roll dice, and there's a bit of push your luck.
Yeah.
If you want to flip over one of your dice and make it a bit better than what it was naturally rolled, then
I might have done that not according to the rules.
you
before.
can. Oh, that's okay. You can add to it, but it'll cost you. Each time you push a
cool.
little too far, you get what's called a shattering. And as you go through those, there's several different levels of them. And when you shatter, to begin with, it's kind of something that might be a little bit good, it might be a little bit bad, but it definitely changes your character forever. And by the time you get to the final level of that, it is irreparable changes that
wow.
really will, I wouldn't call scar your
But
character.
it sounds so serious.
But it's very serious. But it's cool because when you think about life, things do really change as you go
Yeah.
through it, and this represents
I
that
don't
very
know. I
nicely.
can't even commit to a tattoo design. Like, this sounds serious.
This will be a few steps beyond getting a tattoo. Let's go that far.
Yeah, it sounds like very intense.
Yeah, it's lots of really cool different
Was
characters.
it the same artist that did everything?
One artist for this entire book, which is very unusual.
Yeah.
It's just so much art. You'll notice just on so many of these pages.
But there's a wonderful unity to all the imagery.
Yeah, and that is because Kwanchai Moria, one of the most incredible people I've met and absolutely one of the most amazing illustrators, did all of this.
Yeah, they're so fantastic. A right balance of like detail, but still painterly. Yeah. So cool.
Yeah, really different artwork too. And I'm impressed.
Yeah, I haven't really quite seen anything like it.
Yeah, his style is really neat because he can do almost anything. I've seen him do everything from little tiny kids books that are goofy and cartoony looking to the more serious, beautiful, painterly stuff he did for us. So all three of the designers and illustrator that went into this book, Paul Alexander Butler, George Holland, and Kwanchai Moria are all incredible people.
How long did it take for them to develop this like crazy world? And
So this is all the brainchild of a car trip that George and Paul took together to Origins a few years ago, and they were just thinking about what's really different, what's missing. And Paul and George, Paul actually owns a retail store and George works for him, and they love role-playing games.
Yeah.
Best role-playing store I've ever been to, and they were trying to find something that fit into the market that explained this craziness that was going on in their heads that they wanted to see, and this is their love child.
This is like so, it's amazing. Like I want to see a movie of it. Like it's
seriously. Well, actually, we made another interesting announcement this week that we are licensing out Overlight to a company that does nail polish and perfume, which I think is great.
Yeah, because it's such a colorful world. Yeah.
I want to be in this world. I want to think about this all day long. So I'm excited to go get my nails done, and that's not even and smell like a benyari. Yeah, woodsy and everything, and that's not even me, but I'm excited anyway.
Yeah. Or our monks or our little monkey people.
That's right. Yeah. Pyroid. They're like big angry fire people.
Or just like fire and brimstone.
yeah, exactly. There's so much cool stuff in this world. I just really encourage you, dive in, check it out. Even if you haven't played a role-playing game for forever, this is still a good system just to look at the setting, and it will light your imagination on fire.
Do you think even like a first-time role player could just open this tome and just like dive in?
I would strongly recommend Kids on Bikes if you've never played a role-playing game before. You could do it with Overlight, but this is really made from hardcore RPGers for our hardcore RPGers. And the system I would not say is complicated. Really, you're just rolling some dice and doing some basic elementary school math.
Is it more story-driven or strategy?
Very story-driven. There are no miniatures sitting on the table moving in squares and doing combat. That is not this experience. But you are hanging out with your friends and creating an incredible experience that you will remember forever.
Okay.
So yeah, that's Overlight. I'm so excited about it. I'm glad we got to talk.
Did I know we have some more time still, so
we do have more games.
It looked like you brought more games. All right.
We kind of have a crazy lineup this show. So you want me to grab a few and you can talk about T-Dragon, I'll talk about Arboretum?
Yeah.
Do you have the T-Dragon game?
We do.
So cute. So cute.
Wait, you haven't even seen it yet.
But your shirt is so cute.
Overloaded.
So exciting.
Actually, Renegade puts out some of the cutest games too, like your little Shiba Inu game, and
that should be on our business cards. Renegade. We're cute.
Yeah.
I love all of Ozzo Chen's games. He did Kitty Paw, Shiba Inu House. We have Fireworks as a new release here as well.
I heard he designs the packaging too.
He does.
He's just
everything.
like one person game design, packaging design, art machine.
Yes, he really is. And all of his packaging is so special. It's not just a box. I mean, this is beautiful, but he has ears popping out or cylinders or something that makes him just special.
Piggy bank. Circus puppy is an actual piggy bank.
Also true.
Amazing.
I don't know why.
There's no actual reason why it should be, but it's wonderful.
All right, I'm gonna flip this around so everybody can see it. Oh my gosh, all right, cuties.
And, you might even notice in here, so this is one of her books, but we also have an advertisement for her next book, Aquacorn Cove. She's going to make a beautiful book about unicorns underwater, unicorn mermaids.
This reminds me straight up of, Ponyo, the Miyazaki Studio Ghibli film. Yeah, it's so cute.
Adorable stuff.
I'm gonna unfold this because I want to see more.
Oh, so that's the regular rule book that does walk you through with text, but we thought, this is based on a comic book, so why wouldn't we make a rule book
that's a comic? Yeah!
So that's included as well. And they're the
amazing.
same. You'll learn the game either way.
The same game. So, do you have a favorite type of tea?
A favorite type of tea?
We have jasmine,
ginseng,
chamomile, and rooibos.
Oh, I'm kind of a tea person, but how about rooibos?
Here you go. Sarah.
Oh, I've got to be Jasmine.
Okay.
Of course.
Darn it. I'll go with chamomile. She's my
Oh my
second
gosh.
favorite.
What
So-
is this? This is a baby dragon that's
Yeah.
but it's such a baby. It's got it's
Oh,
it's the same expression my dog gave me when he was a puppy, like I'm a baby, and I'm like, yes you are.
So do you know why these are tea dragons? We talked about the story of tea dragons.
No. So,
Yeah, tell me a little bit more. I've never read the comic book, so
So Tea Dragon Society is a graphic novel, Katie
Okay.
O'Neill, written and illustrated. It's set in this world featuring these characters. So this young girl is on an adventure. She has a tea dragon. They're dragons, but they grow tea leaves out of their horns. So they harvest them to make
yeah.
tea. The comic is really wonderful. It's all about, it has different gender roles and gender reversals, which
Which wonderful.
yeah, which we
That's
as
great.
a company really love to support because we as people really love to support that. Yeah, so it's just a coming of age story.
Coming
It's
of
a
age.
finding
Yeah,
yourself story.
I would say that for sure.
Do you
It's-
think I
it's
could
very
play
cool.
this with some of my younger family members? Yeah.
Yeah, it's an introductory deck builder. So
Okay.
the rules are very simple. On your turn, you can draw a card, you can play a card, or you can buy a card.
Okay.
Can
Can we do one round right now?
Oh yeah,
Sure.
let's do it. This will be easy. So the designer of this, it's really funny you mentioned
Sure.
it looking like your puppy because the designer of this game actually had a puppy while he was
Aw.
making it.
Aw.
And of course, when you have a puppy, if you've ever had one before, you realize that sometimes your relationship is great and everything's fine, and sometimes they get grumpy, they might bite you, they might not want to eat what
Oh
you
yes.
give them.
My dog made a hole in the drywall
Oh no.
and
That's
ate
not what
a
you want.
hat. Not like chewed up a hat. Ate the whole
The whole
thing.
thing?
Yes.
Oh, that's a training setback. That's what we call those. Little dent in your relationship. But that's okay because, you know, you get back together and you figure out why that happened and it's all good, and that's what this game is like too.
Ooh, I'm missing a card.
So these are gonna burp and fart on my day, and I'll be
Pretty
like,
much. And then snuggle with you.
Yay, everyone's better.
"You're so cute, so it's okay today."
Exactly.
No.
And how many people can play at a time?
Up to 4.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, 2 to 4. So we have our dragon in front
Yeah.
of us. We have our deck of cards, which I shouldn't be looking at. I'm cheating already. So, on
It's
your
okay.
turn.
I could still win.
On your turn, 2 options. You can draw a card.
Okay.
It's an introductory one. So most deck builders, when you draw a card, there's a cost involved.
Sure.
This one, when you draw a card, you just play it immediately in front of you.
Okay.
On your right. So my chamomile dragon is sleeping, right? So what you're doing when you play cards is building up your currency. So in the top left corner, you have tea leaves. And those are the currency you're going to use to buy cards in the market, which is right here. We've got regular market cards. The cost is in the top right, and that's a cup of tea. So you need tea leaves before you can have a cup of tea. Makes sense.
Makes sense, yeah.
Oh.
We've got regular market cards, and we also have these season cards, these memory cards, the ones that
Sure.
have the green border. They're different memories that we've experienced along the journey of taking care of our tea dragons, and they're all moments in the book, the graphic novel. Some of them are good, some of them are bad, but they deal with they do different effects. We're going to play through 4 seasons of it, and then the game's over. So right now we're in spring. There's also summer, fall, and winter. So when you buy them, which is the other thing you can do on your turn after you've played multiple cards, when you buy them, they go directly into your playing area. If you buy one of the memory cards, that's when you shuffle your discard in your deck. Okay.
Okay.
So I've done my turn. I've
Sure.
drawn a card and immediately played it.
I will also draw a card and play it. And I also got sleeping. Man, we're taking a nap over
Snoozers.
here. That's about right for this time of the afternoon.
All right. Oh wait. So this is my my character card, little Rooibos dragon, and then I also am sleeping because I'm a
What's up?
baby.
Oh, so
It's
cute.
a baby.
So
So that was one whole round. We're done. We're done.
Yay.
Yeah.
nap time.
Nap time.
So in the beginning of the game, your options are kind of limited because you don't have enough tea leaves to
Sure.
buy cards. So I'm just gonna draw another card and play. Oh no! Okay, I was sleeping because I was bored. We talked a little bit about how our dragons can misbehave. This is one of those cards that has a negative effect. So this one says, when drawn, discard this card and an entertainment. So if I had one of those cards in my tableau, I'd have to discard it, which is bad, right? It gets rid of my currency. But I don't have an entertaining, so all I do is discard my board card.
Okay.
Easy peasy. And I now have 2 because I started with the Mentor's card. Only
Got
one
it.
person starts with that. I did. But when I spend it, I'm going to pass it to the left, so then you'll get that benefit next.
Oh, cool.
So right now I have 2 points, which still isn't enough. All these cost either 3, 5. Oh, I could
Oh, so
buy
you're
this
earning
one.
all sorts of like fun little outings, right?
Yeah,
Well,
so now that I see, I'm going to spend this to get a memory. So that actually does go to you. This goes to my discard pile, and I'm going to take this one,
Oh,
and
cool.
it goes to my discard as well, correct?
And then you shuffle your discard and your deck.
And so
Oh.
that'll come back into my hand eventually, I hope. And
So
if we get
this
that
one,
far.
this has, all right, so I have 2 tea leaves now.
Mhm.
All right. And picky.
Uh-oh.
When drawn, discard this and a feeding. So I don't have a feeding out yet, but this is kind of discarded.
Yep.
And then that's all I can do on my
Yep,
turn, right?
You can only do one thing, and that was
One
it.
thing.
Bummer.
It's
So-
kind of a push your luck game because, you know, so you have 2 points now. If there were anything that cost 2, it would be a bit risky to keep drawing because you might get something that makes you discard your
Yeah.
sleeping. So you have to decide, is it worth it? This is a good one, especially for kids, to think about, well, is it worth the risk of doing this
Right.
action? The things I do have consequences.
Sure.
And that's...
I'm still
you're just
sleeping.
really tired.
But it's still like casual enough where I'm like, come over to my house for afternoon tea, and then we'll just have this little like kind of game going on in the background or something. I think it can be very charming.
We've had some people do events at cafes and send us pictures with like their
Oh,
cups
that's
of
so
tea around the game.
cute.
That's perfect.
Yeah.
It's very adorable. Nice, nice.
Yeah.
Say back
So
to you? Oh,
so
no,
to
it's me.
win is the person that has the most cards, right?
No,
Or-
so at the bottom of certain cards, you'll see these teapots
Yeah.
or these dark areas. Those are points.
Sure.
So not every card will have points, these
Okay.
basic actions, but some of them do, and whoever has the most points at the end of the way.
so you're eyeing the ones with the most points.
Yeah, there's a trade-off.
And is that a question mark one?
Yeah, so this one, the Iron Teapot, says 1 point for each memory you have at the end of the game.
Oh.
So you'll just count it up
So you're
later.
building memories with your tea dragon while also like harvesting their tea leaves that grow from their head?
Well,
Okay.
even better, the tea leaves, when you make the tea out of them and drink it, you get the memories of the dragons in the story. It's very cute.
So cute. Oh my goodness gracious.
Everything
All
about
right.
this game is just
We'll
adorable.
we'll put Cutie Patooties off to its side, or the Tea Dragon Society card game. And I want to check out this too, because I was very intrigued.
Wendake. Yeah, this is a little bit of a heavier game, so
Okay.
this is going to be something that you want to play with your gamer group that's experienced.
Very strategy
wide-
based.
Yeah, strategy based. This is going to take you a couple hours to get through, but you will have a great experience and won't even notice that it's 3 hours later.
What kind of game? How many players? How long does it take?
Yeah, so this is I would call it an action selection game, and it has a really neat mechanic to choose what actions you want to take. And it looks kind of like a tic-tac-toe board to start with, but
Sure.
I promise it's more complex than that. Each one of these different squares in this 3x3 grid do a different
Sure.
action, and you can modify these actions as you go through the game, but every time you choose one, the next action you take has to be adjacent to the previous one, and the third action you take will have to make a line.
Okay.
So you lock yourself in every action you take into what the next actions are going to be. And you are collecting resources, you're harvesting, you're taking over some land in the middle of the board, doing all of those fun things that we do in lots of
Okay.
Euro games, but building up these different actions on this board is really the hook of the game. And
So
it's
where's
very
this
fun.
game from?
So this is by an Italian publisher,
Okay.
but it's about this fantastically underknown tribe in Canada.
Oh, cool.
And
Yeah,
I-
it's had this kind of like native, indigenous kind of feel. I was like, oh.
Yeah, I think they did a really nice job of being respectful and drawing attention to this group that maybe we
Sure.
didn't know about before, which
Yeah.
I think is great. I think that's a really
That's
neat
really
thing
cool.
to do.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. Awesome.
So, I just noticed some of the little details on the art on the box there. So it says it takes so 14 or older, so it is more of a strategy game.
Yeah. 1 to 4 players. There is a solo version of the game that you could play.
Oh,
so
wow.
it's great for learning games. I know a lot of people do that where they want to know how to play before they put somebody through the process of seeing and learning the rule book one bit at a time. So you can learn the solo rules and then take it to your group and teach them.
Oh yeah, that's cool. So you can like practice.
It's basically a practice.
So you
It
can win.
Oh, yeah, that's probably it. And it will take a couple hours to get through this one, even if you know what you're doing. But like I said, it'll fly by.
All right, so I'm having a little hard time keeping track of what's out, what just came out, what will come out, and when. So can we just kind of recap? Okay, we got one more game, and then if you could please do that for me, because everybody's like, oh, I want to get that now, maybe in the chat room, and they're like, no, you got to wait for this one, but this one's already out, so.
We'll go through the whole list at then. How about that? We'll do a rapid fire release date. Okay.
It'll still take 10 minutes.
We'll go fast. But just Wendock 8 is actually out as of yesterday in all retail stores.
Oh, wow,
We did a shared
nice.
release for Gen Con. We thought it'd be fun to let retailers in on the excitement.
Cool.
So that one is out now. Arboretum, I promise, this is the last game.
I'm loving this. I'm loving this.
Do you want to give that one a pop and we'll look at the cards inside?
I will try my best.
Awesome. Arboretum is a game that I have been obsessed with for years.
Is it about trees?
It's about trees.
Surprise!
How did I do that? And we just got the opportunity to redo this, and we redid the artwork. We didn't change the rules because they were already excellent. And the artwork is all by Beth Sobel. She's one of my favorite artists in the industry. She's just a delightful lady, and her talent is really in drawing anything having to do with nature. So we're super excited. And we also took the opportunity when we changed the artwork to make this extremely colorblind friendly.
Oh, cool.
That's
That is
important
so
to us.
important. Yeah, accessibility for sure.
Yeah. So this is a game that is deceptively complicated.
Deceptive. So it is complicated, or it's not?
Deep.
Let me guess. Easy to learn, hard to master?
Yes.
All right.
I can teach you almost every single rule in just a few sentences.
Okay.
The rule book is really just, like, this is the whole rule book. That's it. You know everything. But
So what is the objective of this game?
You want to win.
Obviously, I want to win all the trees, and the trees become my friends, and then we go dance in little circles or something. No, but like specifically.
You are trying to have the most wonderful paths through your arboretum. And you do that
So
by...
you tend your little arrow.
Yeah, you're planting trees in
So
your
charming.
arboretum.
So charming.
And all of the different tree types are going to have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and all the way to 8. And that you're going to notice there's a bunch of different tree types. It's sort of like Suits if you've played different card games before. And when you're counting your paths, you're always going to start with a low number, and you want to work your way up, always ascending to a higher number, and you get points for all of the trees in that path. And it's difficult to lay them down in a really efficient way so you can maximize getting the most points. But for example, we would go 1, 2, 3, 4. I started on yellow, I ended on yellow, so I get all those points. So I get 4 points.
Oh, okay.
But the way the gameplay works is I will always have 7 cards in my hand at the beginning of my turn.
Sure.
I will draw 2 cards. I will play 1 card into my own arboretum, and then I will discard a card. That's all you do on your turn. So I always have 7 cards in my hand. At the end of the game, though, I only get to score cards in my arboretum if I have the most points of that same type of card in my hand.
Oh, so you're going to keep an eye on the other arboretums and be like, oh no, they have more of a certain type.
Well, you won't know because it's in their hand.
Mystery.
So you have to count the cards. So you see people discarding cards and picking up cards, and you have to try and remember, if I seen the 8 before, did I discard that? And then at the end of the game, you're like, okay, I know where all of these cards are except for 1, so I think I have the majority. You put all your cards down, and hopefully you do if you have a lot of them on the board.
Maybe a little bluffing, maybe a little
Yeah,
for sure.
memory game.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
But it's difficult to decide, even if you know where all the cards are,
Okay.
should I put this on my board or should I keep it in my hand?
Oh.
Because if you put too much down, you might not be able to score it, and then you've wasted all these actions.
Sneaky, sneaky gardener.
It is a very strategic game.
Yeah,
There's
that
a lot
sounds
to
great.
think about, but it's excellent, and the artwork's beautiful. The gameplay is so elegant. That's what I
Yeah.
really love about this one.
Wow. That is awesome. So do you guys have a personal favorite of everything that
all
you're
of
showing?
these?
You're asking us to pick our children. No, I think
I won't
that
tell, anybody.
really I would pick the game for the group I'm playing with. And so if I'm playing with my 7-year-old niece, it's going to be T-Dragon,
Okay.
hands down. If I'm playing with my husband,
Sure.
we're going to battle over Arboretum, because the tiebreaker in this
Sure.
game is if you tie and you have the same number of points, you both have to plant a tree. And after a certain number of years, you see whose tree is tallest and that person wins. So I have a tree that I have planted after tying him in this game, and I am going to win.
Wow. And then that's so cool. It's like environmental and everything too. What about if I'm bringing a game to my gaming store, like a
Oh.
club or something that I'm a part of?
Yeah, what would you recommend
Bunch
for that
of
one?
seasoned board
If
gamers.
you have all night to play and food and
Yeah,
water to stay
we're-
hydrated, I'd play Wendake.
Okay.
It lasts
Yeah,
a long
yeah.
time. Wendake right there. I pointed away. It's super satisfying. And you're true. I played it just last month, and we were playing for about 3.5 hours, but it felt like just 1 hour. You get super engrossed, and you're planning your turns ahead, and I don't know, it's super satisfying.
And then at the end, you're like, can I please have 3 more turns? I
Yeah,
just
still
need a
you want it to
little bit
last
more time.
longer.
Yeah.
But if you are looking for just like a 1 hour lighthearted game,
Sure.
then Spell Smashers is super fun.
Oh yeah, that I had fun. Thank you for playing with. I mean, I spelled reed.
No, you spelled
And
roofer.
Oh yeah, roofer. Roofed it. It's just kind of like Scrabble, where you're like, it's a word.
But sometimes you don't want the longest word, because when you
Right.
beat up those monsters ahead of
Yeah.
time, and then the next person who had this really tiny word goes in and kills that monster, you already did all the
that's
damage.
true, because
to.
you want kind of like the last hit, and also
yeah.
you want to target the type of damage from each card with the vulnerabilities of those monsters. You don't want to
Yeah.
just
Yeah, don't be ashamed of casting
up.
do that all the
Because
time.
it might work. It might be the best word on the table.
Does it have to be 2 letters or more?
2 minimum. It can't have apostrophes or hyphens, and can't be a proper noun.
So no
Yeah.
names.
No names.
Sarah, Danny, Malika.
Really
All right, so we're gonna go through your wonderful lineup. We have about 6 minutes of, okay, what's out? I mean, I'm like, yeah, it's out. I'm gonna take this home now, but like, what's available? So let's see if I can remember. So Wendake got launched today?
Yes.
Yesterday.
Yeah.
Okay,
this is
at
just
Gen
barely
Con
out.
and in stores.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Kids on Bikes isn't out yet. When's that coming out?
Probably September. We're really
September.
hoping to get it out in late August,
Soonish,
but
yeah.
very soon. Yeah,
Very soonish.
soon.
Our
Spell Smashers.
Spell Smashers.
October, but we don't have a date
October.
yet.
Okay.
That's a
Yeah,
little bit far off.
We're working on. We actually took literally the very first 150 that were off the line and air freighted them over, and it was even like the
Whoa.
very last minute. They got here on Monday morning, and we set up on Tuesday. So those are the first ones that have ever existed.
Wow.
So
The
it's
Journey
a
to
little far
Gen
out.
Con. Amazing.
Yeah, exactly.
And then Arboretum.
This is coming out in late September.
Okay. So we got September, October, just came out yesterday.
The T-Dragon came out on June 27th, so that should be
This
everywhere.
is out. Yes,
Yeah.
because you're saying people are taking selfies, playing the game, and doing tea parties. Oh,
Yeah.
so,
Though,
it's so cute.
if you find it, I would get one because we're sold out. It's going to be a little bit till we get more.
Yeah, the graphic novel.
I'm definitely taking it.
Well, the comic was just awarded with 2 different Eisner Awards at San Diego Comic-Con.
Yes, I noticed.
So,
yeah.
which is amazing. It's very unusual to win even 1, but
Right.
2 is like a
Yeah.
big deal. So
It's
we're
even,
sold out.
It's even hard to get nominated
Yeah.
more than once. Yeah.
Yeah. So it won for Best Webcomic and Best Young Adult, I think.
Yeah, in that age category. Yeah.
Yeah.
Super cool.
Very timely game. Congrats, guys.
Thank you.
And then we got Overlight and our other Hunter's Book RPG, Outbreak Undead. So this is the second edition, which is out now, right? No?
It's actually not.
Why do I get all these things early?
Well,
the internet
it's
is
'cause we
being like,
you. So Overlight's coming out in September. Outbreak Undead is going to be right on its heels at the end of September
okay,
as well.
so a lot of stuff is happening in September.
Well, we gotta get the holidays all set up. Yeah, no, it's
okay.
true. It is gonna be
You
a
guys
busy holiday
are not
season.
gonna get any sleep.
No, we don't do
No, no.
that. She only takes naps in Tea Dragon
camouflage.
Society.
And then we have our Clank Expansions.
Clank, clank.
Same time, different times?
Different times.
Okay.
This Apocalypse, we just pushed it to be August 29th.
Whoa.
So soon. It's almost here. And this is
It's gonna be a little bit later. It is also in the same situation as Spell Smashers. It's probably gonna be an October release, but yeah, we shipped them as fast as we could to get here, and now they have to go on a boat and take the long journey.
Okay, October.
Maybe they can get some
September,
sleep.
October.
Yeah.
last one, Gunkimono. And this one is September 19th.
September 19th.
One more
Okay, wow, this is all in September. Okay, it's just hang out, go back to school, guys, and then get home. These wonderful games from Renegade. All right, I know you didn't bring them here, but people have asking me, like, I heard that you have Power Rangers minis.
We do. We made that
At your
announcement.
booth. Yes. So-
Have you been by yet?
No.
Oh my goodness, Malika. Go.
I
Go
know.
now.
Bye. I saw you had Hydro Hog, I think, or Pudgy Pig.
Pudgy Pig.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, he's so gross.
Yeah, and the paint job on
Yes.
the minis is just incredible. They look amazing.
So any Power Rangers in the chat room, tell me more about this game. It's on Kickstarter, debuting at Power Morphicon in August. So much for you guys to do.
Oh, I can't wait to go to Power Morphicon
Yeah.
though. We're gonna see your whole team there.
Oh, yes.
And hopefully play some games
It's
with you. maybe?
I can't talk. I may have not officially announced that yet, but I will be there as a fan. Yes.
Oh, sorry. I am very excited for you to be there,
Yeah.
maybe or maybe not.
No, I'm definitely being there as a fan. I just the officialness has not been announced yet.
Okay, not very official, but
And-
yes. So we'll be there. We put that in our announcement. We're gonna have
and more of the minis to
prototypes.
see.
Yeah,
Okay.
so we're gonna make prototype. I am going to go to Staples a lot next week and make prototypes of this game.
Oh, cool.
And we will have 3D printed models of
Oh,
a bunch of the
nice.
minis, so you can check
Yay.
them out. And you'll get to really see the way the gameplay works, even though we won't have the final components yet. It's gonna be awesome.
Yeah.
And then if you like it, you could Kickstart it because
Sure.
it'll be on Kickstarter August 14th.
August 14th, and you got like about a month, right?
Yeah, it's gonna be a long one.
Can you speak to any of the exciting, maybe stretch goals that you like really want to happen in this game? No.
Oh, those
Just
are all
gonna
going to be posted next week. It's going to be cool. I can say, though, that
Okay.
the designer of the game, Jonathan Yin, we just ran into him, actually.
Yeah, he's like worked on Star Wars and a bunch of other.
Oh, yeah. He was on Imperial Assault, which I think is one of the best miniatures games on the market right now. And he's just an incredible guy. But my thing that I'm really surprised about with him is how much he loves Power Rangers.
Yeah.
I don't know of anybody on this planet who knows as much about Power Rangers as he does. And when he starts talking about like the shape of the diamond on their cuffs to make sure that it's exactly the same as in the show, I'm like, that's our guy. He knows everything.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you so much for bringing all this wonderful stuff here. Oh my gosh, you guys must have had not any sleep to bring all of this to Gen Con. I'll definitely go by your booth. What number?
2209.
209. And where can we find you guys on social media?
At Play Renegade.
At Play Renegade. Thank you so much for tuning in. Don't go away. I think there are more interviews that are happening right after this. So
Exciting.
go get a drink and then come back.
Thank you guys. Have fun.
Bye.